Here's my subjective take on the best and worst parts of Diablo 2, 3, and 4. Starting with the best thing about Diablo 2, I just love the itemization in this game. Uniques can be really powerful, and so can rares. Even certain magic or blue items have the ability to be best in slot. The wide range of low to high level set items have bonuses that in niche cases can be really strong. Or, you know, I might craft myself a pair of orange gloves to get crushing blow. And then you even have gray items with open sockets that I'll pick up for my rune words. Heck, it's even worth picking up white items, as I can potentially turn them gray for a rune word base. And a helm is not just a helm. There's like 100 different helm types that have different requirements and potential bonuses. My point is, pretty much all items have potential to be useful in Diablo 2. And don't get me started on rune words. Oh, and items can roll with plus skills on them from other classes. So my assassin can all of a sudden use the sorceress teleport because I found a staff with plus teleport charges. Or I can use the druid's spirit summon via this ring so my paladin gets more life. I mean, that's just really awesome in my opinion, and makes building and designing your character really satisfying, both through the skill tree and stats that you carefully choose, but especially through the itemization. On to the best thing about Diablo 3, I love how fun just clicking buttons and killing demons is in Diablo 3. Like, there's a casual, like, arcadey feel to this game, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. The satisfying spells, along with the simplicity and accessibility, makes this an amazing couch co-op, like, console experience, perhaps with your kids or your girlfriend who's new to gaming, or even on PC with your online friends pushing the limits of the game. I also love how Diablo 3 has come so far since its release. Pretty messy with a lot of systems that didn't work at all back then, but I feel like they've really cleaned it up and really doubled down on its strengths, you know, what it does well. Now it's got this fun farming simulator vibe to it where I can just jump in and feel like an overpowered god, and at certain times of the month I enjoy that. What I think is the best thing about Diablo 4 after playing the beta is the freshness. A new Diablo game, a new story, new endgame, the community hype. It's intriguing and really sparks my curiosity and hunger to play the game. You know, building up my character in D4 is like a new problem to solve, a new nut to crack, so to speak. The foundation of the gameplay feels incredible to me. Like, just killing the first wolf at level 1, I already had fun, and I love that feeling of exploring a new game that I'm passionate about. Now, I've only played the beta, so I'm expecting to have a lot more thoughts on this once the game is out. On to the worst things about these games. Diablo 2, absolutely the lack of endgame content. Like, after playing this game for thousands of hours, there's not much left to do, besides doing it all over again, and it can get a little bit repetitive. And even now with D2 Resurrected, I'm a little disappointed with how little changes they're making to this game. Like, adding a few new boring items per season just isn't enough to make me want to play it. I'd really love to see them be more brave and make more bold changes to really shake this game up. Other than that, the depth and the complexity of this game isn't that obvious and can be hard for new players to appreciate. I've found that my friends who try it for the first time often find the gameplay slow and unengaging, coming from other more fast-paced modern titles, which is understandable since the game is 23 years old. To me, it's only once you know a lot of the ins and outs of Diablo 2 that it becomes the awesome and fun game that it is. And even when you think you know everything, there's still more to discover, but a lot of people never get there. So I'd say it's almost too complicated and non-user friendly. The worst part about Diablo 3, I'd have to say, is just the scaling of everything. I mean, what are these numbers? What's going on my screen? It's just so much of everything. Like, I'm eating a cake with a cake on top of it, and now fry all of that and cover it in chocolate. Like, it just kind of makes me sick, like after a Thanksgiving dinner. It's a lot. I'd much more appreciate and savor the whole experience if it was stripped down a bit. Sort of like Diablo 2, where your items, rather than give you 10,000% extra damage, you get a slight increase to your cast rate, and your teleporting feels much better. I personally prefer that system of slightly tweaking and fine-tuning different aspects of my character. And finally, the worst thing about Diablo 4, I hate to say it, but it's the exact same thing as Diablo 3. The scaling, especially the item affixes. Just stacking percentage bonus damage, 10% to crowd-controlled mobs, 12% overpower damage, to the point where people are doing 11 million damage crits in the beta? I mean, come on. Why? Just this one aspect of the game feels a little bit chaotic to me and doesn't feel as satisfying as a system like Diablo 2, where my sorceress deals 2,500 damage just from being the level she is, and with full gear, the damage doubles. So it's a 2x in damage from my gear, not 8,000. In summary, I have a love-hate relationship with all three of these games for different reasons. Do you agree with my pros and cons of each Diablo game? Are there things that you would add to the list? Make sure you subscribe for more Diablo videos.